Mic is good.
Hello people, I'm Jaby KOAY, joined by Ski-ter Jones.
What's cracking?
So we are going to talk about Kaala, the new movie starring Rajinikanth. It's
Yes.
written and directed by Ranjith. So the quick rundown of the story is this. You have Rajinikanth, the leader of this small town. Everyone kind of looks to him almost like a godfather. When there are problems, he's the guy who steps in to intervene to protect the people. You've got this guy who works in the government. He's supposed to be a person of the people, but he's really a person of himself, of his own self-interest. So he's a selfish character.
Very much so.
Who's like trying to basically excavate these people from their land so that he can take it from them. That's the short rundown that you'll get from the trailer. If you're a Rajinikanth fan, I'm pretty sure you've watched the movie already. If you're wondering whether or not to spend your money on it, I would say it's better than KOAY, the last movie with Rajinikanth that was also written and directed by Ranjith. I didn't like KOAY that much. I had a lot of issues with it, and as did many people.
Now, is that a lot of people in the States or a lot of people overseas?
Overseas.
Gotcha.
For this one, though, I thought that it was an improvement from KOAY. I thought it was a much better film, a much better story, something that like I could get on board with.
Yes.
That made a lot more sense. And it's like, at the heart of it, you're dealing with just someone who's trying to help out his people and people trying to fight oppression.
Well, is it oppression or is it more of the government wanting to come in and, you know, take over the land kind of thing?
I'd say it's the same, one and the same. That is oppression. They're being marginalized, basically.
Okay, I'll take that.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so, yeah, that's the whole thing.
Because I know about oppression.
So, I'm gonna give you guys some of the positives and negatives without giving anything away from the movie itself. Me personally, I loved what the story was basically about, what it stood for. I liked what it represented.
Yes.
More than anything else. The idea behind it was an idea I could agree with.
Exactly.
I love the music in this film. I thought the music was great.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can tell that the States influenced hip-hop
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
You know, that was just, when I saw that, I was like, yo, we're reaching.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, hip hop has definitely made its way overseas to India and Korea. It's pretty worldwide and
Now,
it's global.
Not that the movie is hip hop or anything like that.
It
It's
was just
that
hip hop moments.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There was some hip hop music, but outside of that, like even like the score, I felt some very Hans Zimmer influence. If you watch the Dark Knight and then you watch this, you'll hear musical references to the Dark Knight, but it's like changed in such a way that it doesn't seem like the same soundtrack at all.
No, that was great.
But I thought the music actually helped the film a lot.
Yeah, especially when you had the different beats.
Yeah.
And the tone of the music was going by the tone of the film, which it should be.
Right. They had an interesting like coalescence of different ideas. Like you had hip hop combined with rock, combined with like classical film music, like Hans Zimmer type film music. I was like, wow, it's not that often you see all three of these elements combined in the same film.
And it was woven beautifully.
Yeah. I like the way the film was shot. I thought the cinematographer did a great job.
Dude, I'm always amazed at that.
Yeah. The action was cool. It's like not my favorite action film,
I was
obviously.
about to say, I like it, but
Yeah, it was all right. It was like there was action there enough to like keep the story exciting, I would say.
No, it was good. It was, yeah.
What I appreciated though was that it wasn't overburdened with too much action. It was more about the story and
Yes.
the dynamics between these characters going on. It was a lot more of a talking film than I was expecting it to be. It was like more drama than it
Okay.
was, based more than it was dependent on action. They definitely played to Rajinikanth's strengths.
Absolutely.
Like the stunt people working with him did a great job of selling the hits and reacting to his movement. There was a couple hits here and there that I saw didn't connect, but like with the editing and the music and the sound effects and all that stuff, it worked for the most part.
talk about the actors itself.
Okay,
That bad guy was,
Yeah.
he was on point.
Yeah, the bad guy in the film was really, really good in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, actually, I really liked the villain in the film. I would say that he is a great reason to watch this film besides, if you're a big Rajinikanth fan. The villain actually does a great performance. It's very, like, grounded and it's not over the top at all. It's just a grounded performance is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and by the bad guy.
By the bad
And
guy.
even
Even
Rajinikanth.
Rajinikanth,
Exactly.
yeah.
I liked all his moments.
What's important with the acting is that both leads were strong.
Yes.
And I liked that about it. And they played really well off of each other. They had a couple of scenes together, and every scene they had together, there was so much tension.
Yes.
In the way that it was directed and edited and their dynamic playing off of each other.
What did that remind you of? In what scene with two heavy hitters?
Heat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what I was thinking.
Those are the pros and cons of the film. For me, the film was a little bit long, like that first half hour before intermission. It's like it could have been truncated a lot more, but like towards towards reaching intermission, the film started to pick
up
up and get exciting, and like then it had you in that first hour. There's just kind of a lot of stuff going on, and I think that the justification is that they're doing a lot of setting up, a lot of building up.
Yes.
But for me, it's like I'm getting a lot of the stuff already, and I'm ready to move on before the movie's ready to move on. And I would have liked it more if it just kind of truncated that first hour a lot more, just because it's like it's a 3-hour film, and I didn't think it needed to be 3 hours long.
Not at all.
I think that the film was a worthwhile experience just for the dialogue between these two, like, you know,
I loved it.
You know what
Loved
I'm saying?
it,
These two
loved it.
titans,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Be sure to check out Ski-ter on the Instagrams and the other social medias. He would appreciate that quite a bit. He has a deficit of followers, if you will.
Oh my
He's
God.
got negative 12 followers.
Thank
It's
you.
just not going well over there. So help him out, follow him, and subscribe to his things. And that's it. I'm Jaby KOAY. This is
Skeeter Jones.
Peace out.